This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the McDonald's Fresh Vegan TS. Not that long ago I actually took a look at the Big Vegan TS. It seems like they discontinued that and now they've got the Fresh Vegan TS, so yeah, just had to update my review in that regard. I do not know if they changed too much about it. Maybe it's just a name change, I'm not entirely sure. I didn't really did much of a read up on this either, so yeah, it's just going to be the performance that is going to count. No interference regarding any background knowledge. I bought this for €3.99 and yeah, here we go. It is colder than it was previously. Now that's the statement right there. I do like the little carton, almost wax papery stuff right here. The previous one, the Big Vegan TS, came in a box. This one does not. This one comes in a wrapper. I do prefer those wrappers, I've got to say. And I've got to say that the vegan patty or vegetarian patty to lettuce ratio is much better on this one. This one looks not as overloaded with lettuce as the previous one did. Now, from the outside we can spot the patty right here. We can spot some sauce at the very bottom, a tomato. Oh, it's quite bright, quite pinkish down there. I've got a lettuce, and that's really going to be it seems. Let's give this a bit of a cross section. The knife has been dirty because it has just been used in the previous review, so yeah, do not worry. I do not use dirty knives. I do not put them away dirty. Here we go. So, yeah, same thing we said previously, I guess. Oh, we've got some onions and a pickle. And a pickle right up there in the middle. Looks fine so far. $3.99, and the Fresh Vegan TS is going in. Alright, the first bite. Now, something that is already maybe a bit disappointing is that, let me zoom in on that, is that wood chip structure in that vegan patty. It just looks kind of disgusting. It looks like you've got many different small parts of meat that you kind of ground up, and yeah, reminds me a lot of cartilage. Not the most pleasing thing I can imagine, I guess. Okay, let's go for a second bite at the top. Yeah, second bite, not really all that eventful either. And let me finish off this half and I'll give you my halftime review in just a second. Okay, we are halfway through. I've got very mixed feelings about this, and most of them are negative, I'm afraid to say. Now, the lettuce is nice and crunchy, even though it looked like in some parts on the outside not as great. The onions on the very top are actually nice and spicy. I didn't really expect that. Usually they just seem to be there for, decoration, it seems, most of the time at least. Tomato didn't really upset me at all. Something though, with that patty on the bottom right there, it's weird. Texture-wise, it's kind of weird because it does not have the texture of meat at all. It has the texture of maybe something like a Reibekuchen, maybe more like hash brown, something, but not meat. And that wood chip-like structure right here, when you see it like this, reminds me of things, but usually those things aren't supposed to be meat, and if they are not supposed to be eaten. It's just something that really throws me off, and I'm actually quite surprised because the Rebel Whopper, that vegan Burger King Whopper thingy, they renamed that as well, I think. That one was actually very close to the original Whopper, and I do not know why McDonald's cannot do that good of a job with them. I just do not get it. By the way, that sauce down there, that's also quite weird. It reminds me of some sort of cheese-like sauce, but I guess it's not cheese. It's weird. Alright, the consumption process is over, and I think we can now make up our mind about the Fresh Vegan TS. To be quite honest, I think they made it worse than the Big Vegan TS previously. I really have to say that the on the Big Vegan TS, everything on the entire thing was fine, except for the patty. on this one right here, they also introduced some weird sauce that doesn't really, go well with anything. It doesn't look like that. I think it reminds me of cheese sauce. It looks like cheese sauce. Maybe it's supposed to be a substitute for the regular cheap cheese they put on these burgers. Taste-wise, it just did not live up to that expectation. Now, let's go to through the rating first, though. First impression-wise, I cannot complain about that because it looked pretty decent color-wise as well. Consistency and texture-wise, I will give it 1 point. Now, I do give it 1 point because everything except for that burger patty itself is fine when it comes to the texture and the consistency. Now the onions were actually exceptionally good, really crunchy, really spicy. I think this is where the spiciness in my mouth right now comes from. Probably most of those onions right there. Consistency and texture of the patty itself, I didn't, put it on camera, the last few bites of it, but I took the entire thing of the last few bites apart and just consumed the patty by itself, and it just disintegrated. I bit into it and it just disintegrated in an odd way. Doesn't really adhere to itself even. It just does not want to be, it seems, and yeah, not really all that great. If I was to rate the consistency and texture of the patty on a scale from 1 to 10, I would get a 3. Taste-wise, 5 points I give 2.5. Because, again, most of the burger of the fresh vegan TS is nice. It tastes fresh, crunchy, the lettuce, crunchy, the onion. The cheese sauce, or the fake cheese sauce, is a bit weird, but that's okay. Tomato, really uneventful. But then again, when you've got crunchy lettuce and onions, you don't really feel it at all. The bun itself was fine. It was just that patty itself, and again, if I were to rate that on a scale from 1 to 10, it probably would get a 2 or a 2.5 out of 10. In my opinion, it just is not good. If it was up to me, I would just ditch this patty that they put on here and just go with a vegetable patty. Some sweet potato, maybe some broccoli stuff, spice it up really well, throw a few carrots in there. They did do that a couple of years ago, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. But this right here, this is, this is just nothing. It's just not enjoyable. And if you cannot eat meat for any reason whatsoever, I don't really care. If you just do not want to eat meat, just do not go into this buying the fresh vegan TS and expecting the world and more, because it's going to be disappointing. I do not know for how many centuries you must avoid eating meat for this to be incredibly enjoyable, but it really isn't. It looks unnatural. It looks like a mixture of cartilage and wood chips, and it's too pink for that, and it's weird. It's just weird. I do not really know what else to say about it. Theme realization wise, I just give them 0.5 points because I do not even know what I should say about this. I guess it's vegan, so that's fine. It's got tomato and salad on it, and it's kind of fresh, so they get half a point from that. But I just do not want to give too many points because I think this is actually worse than the previous one that I had, the Big Vegan TS. I do not know why they replaced that with this. It just does not make any sense to me. The previous one wasn't good, and this one here is even worse, I think. 6 out of 10 is the rating for the fresh vegan TS from McDonald's. And yeah, if you've got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'm going to see you soon. Until then, bye bye.